Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. How many people in your life are actually who they say they are? Today on rSpace, the masks slip off. Up first, it sucks to be the new guy. Girlfriend for 7 years cheated on me update. I finished it off. Thank you for all the support you guys have given me. Some were harsh, some were very gentle, but in the end, all of you told me to leave her. I love Reddit community for being there for me in my darkest hour. English is not my strong suit, so please excuse my bad English. First part TLDR. I just found out my girlfriend of 7 years cheated on me with another guy for close to 2 years now. I found out about it by new guy's mom when I tried to find her. Apparently she lied to that family as well, saying that she will marry that guy. And they were on a family trip until the 20th. We and his mom decided to wait until they were back from their trip to finish it off. Update. I was planning on meeting her tomorrow and talk with her and end things then, but one fellow Redditor gave me a great idea. I was to go meet her with other guy's family, so she can't lie her way out of it. So, they came from the trip today. As soon as they came, his mother called me. I gave her the idea and she was okay with it. After confirming the girl went home, we started our move. I packed all her stuff that was at my place and all of her gifts and whatnot and took it with me. Me and the other guy's family met along the way. As soon as I saw this, I stopped them and went to the guy and asked him, "Do you know who I am?" He didn't know. She lied to him as well. And I asked him, "Do you want her?" He said, "Hell no." And we showed each other our chat histories and photos for proof. And we were on an agreement. Then we both went close to her house and started walking towards her house. I was at front carrying like 5 big bags of clothes. I directly went to her house. Her family was outside. They couldn't understand what was going on. I entered the house, greeting them, went to her door, opened it. She was shocked. I told her, "Come on out, I brought a friend," and she saw the other guy and his whole family behind him. She was speechless and immediately went to close the door, asking him to go away, but he came in. She tried to run, but her sister and brother caught her. She was acting like a cornered wild animal, trying to run away. I put all the bags in her living room and said, "We are done." And I told her mom that she was cheating on me with this guy for 2 years, and I no longer have any relationship with your daughter. Other guy was young, 23 male apparently. This was his first girlfriend, and he was very sad. I told her that all her lies finally caught up to her, and this is all your fault. And if you were honest with any of us, things could have been different, and I will no longer contact her, and that I'm done. Then the other guy's mom started crying and asking her, "Why did you do this to my son?" And girlfriend's mom started crying, asking her, "Why did you do this?" She couldn't handle it. She tried to run away again, saying, "I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die." But her brother stopped her and put her in her room. We left, and along the way, the other guy and I talked, and we understood how much manipulation was going on. When we left, she sent him a message saying, "I truly love you," and I got a message saying I broke everything. He gave me his phone, and I sent her a voice message saying, "You're too late, sweetheart," and he blocked her. His mother and father was thanking me for letting the truth out, and we went our separate ways. After coming home, he called me and talked with me for 2 hours comparing notes, and we understood the depths she went to lie and keep this lie going. Currently, I kind of feel like a little good about being free from a narcissist liar, but a lot hurt about how she broke my heart. Other guy has no experience in relationships, so he's in a really bad place. I talked with him and calmed him down a bit. I'm a bit worried that she will do something to herself, but I feel like it's another trap trying to guilt one of us back into her web of lies. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk and the support you gave me. Reddit truly is the best. Strength in numbers. She's still in the middle of her own mess, and honestly, that's something she's got to figure out on her own. You did what you need to do for yourself, though, OP. Don't let the guilt trip get to you. You're free now, and that's what matters. We want to hear your thoughts. If you were in this situation, would you confront the person directly or take a step back and let them figure it out on their own? Up next, the joys of home renovations. I found messages on my mother-in-law's boss's computer that changed my entire view of her. What do I do now? I work at my husband's family business that builds custom homes. I met my mother-in-law when she came into the design firm I worked at to pick out some options for a client. She and I hit it off, and after she'd come in a few times, she set me up with her son. Fast forward 7 years, and I coordinate all the builds and consult with clients on design for the 50-plus-year-old family business. My mother-in-law is technically my boss, but we operate a lot like equals, and she's been taking some steps back. She and I have always gotten along great, and she has felt like the mother I never got to have growing up. So last Friday I was packing up to go home and on the phone with my husband before he got a flight for our annual weekend with friends. I was distracted and accidentally grabbed my mother-in-law's computer instead of mine. I didn't realize it until I was home and wanted to look up some fixtures for a project in our own house. Once I knew, I texted her to let her know, to which she said no worries. She was unplugging this weekend anyway and to do whatever I needed on it. I was just browsing and unintentionally clicked on a linked email in a store's contact page. We use MacBooks, and as a lot of Apple users know, that will usually pop up to send an email using your default mail app. I closed the draft, and when I went to close her mail app, I saw an email from a recently hired apprentice titled, "Our Weekend Getaway Itinerary." I froze. I realized this was her personal email, and I couldn't help myself but to click on it. I found both explicit and romantic messages between this 22-year-old male apprentice and my married 47-year-old mother-in-law and boss. I slammed the computer shut and just went to bed, staring at the ceiling for quite a while. My husband was gone all weekend and only got home today. I had been spiraling all weekend on how to handle this. I certainly wasn't going to bring it up to my husband while he was gone, but I went to the office and had to see my mother-in-law yesterday and could barely keep my composure. I found every excuse to lock myself away in my office and be busy. So now my husband is back and I'm wondering what to do. Do I tell him? How do I even do that? Do I go to his mom and confront her? Do I go to his dad and tell him? Help! Let's see what advice the community has for this OP. First up, if you're going to tell your husband, bring proof. Second person says, screenshot everything. If you're tech savvy enough, screenshot on the laptop. Open a private browser to email them to yourself. Delete the screenshots and delete them from the trash. Otherwise, just use your phone to take pics. Tell your husband. He's going to know if something is off with you and you'll worry yourself sick if you don't tell him. Is there a chance your mother-in-law and father-in-law have an open relationship? Your options would be to hire a private detective or inform the mother-in-law and get to come clean, or inform the father-in-law so he can decide how to move forward, or do nothing. The OP replies, there's no chance they have an open relationship. My father-in-law was cheated on in a serious relationship with someone he thought he would marry, and it crushed him. He has always preached loyalty and monogamy in relationships to my husband since he was a teen. Update 2 days later. I shouldn't have been surprised by the amount of people who told me to keep it to myself and that I was in the wrong for snooping. Yeah, I shouldn't have opened the email, but I did, so here we are, and here's an update. My husband knew something was wrong after he got home. He can read me like a book. I told him I found something I shouldn't have and told him everything. He was mortified, but as some said, he's glad I told him because keeping it from him would be worse. He knew more about that apprentice than I did. He was the son of a family friend and she's known him since he was a teenager. Hiring him was a favor to said friend. My husband said he wanted to take him from there, which he did. He went snooping on his own. The computer is company property and he has ownership in it as well, and can log in remotely at any time. He took screenshots of emails going back with the apprentice over a year before he worked there, then of ones with someone else that were 2 years old, and then records of a second phone and hotel reservations. With all that, he took it to his dad. I don't know how the conversation went, but I do know that they went to get him tested. To add insult to injury, he tested positive. My father-in-law joined us for dinner instead of going home, and we talked for quite a while. He was like a heartbroken teenager. He had no idea what was happening, but years ago, he had suspicions of her talking to other men, but didn't have any proof, and they dropped it after a brief fight. But now, with undeniable proof of multiple affairs, he said it's over. He also has a pretty airtight prenup that should make a pretty easy divorce on paper. The family business is on his side, and in the case of infidelity, she forfeits all ownership of the business and the house they built together. So I'm sorry to break it to you, coming clean didn't destroy my marriage or my career. I told my husband mostly because we don't keep secrets from each other. It's a foundation of our marriage. But it's almost like reasonable adults put blame only where it's deserved, on the cheater. My father-in-law is pissed and simultaneously devastated, and plans to get his ducks in a row before serving her with papers. Let's see what other comments the community has. First up, honesty in relationships is the best policy. I'm glad you told your partner, and that he told his dad. Next up, right? A lot of people were acting like keeping it a secret would somehow be better, but honesty won out here. Sucks all around, but at least the truth is out. Another comment says, I found that people that hide info about others' affairs are usually cheaters themselves whom haven't been caught yet. And yet another comment. He also has a pretty airtight prenup that should make it pretty easy to divorce on paper. The family business is on his side, and in case of infidelity, she forfeits all ownership of the business and the house they built together. Why would you have an affair so easily discoverable on work computers if the stakes were this high? If this is real, mother-in-law is either really dumb or just didn't care if she got caught and lost her livelihood. The OP replies, honestly, I think how I found out could be chalked up to just not being tech savvy and not thinking she had anything to worry about because she's gotten away with this for years, as we found out. I have her computer login and she has mine. People are pressed that I had my boss's password, but she's also my mother-in-law. We've done presentations where her computer goes to sleep after we set it up and I need to log in. She sent me to go get a file off her hard drive when it's plugged in at her desk, etc. And I don't know if she even realized that her personal email was logged in on the mail app. She usually works off Microsoft Outlook in her web browser. There's a good chance she logged into her personal email on the mail app and didn't think twice about it or use it since. Update, 1 month later. Like I said, I listen to THT every week, and I heard my story on there this week. So yes, OP was listening, and here's an update. My father-in-law did end up confronting my mother-in-law shortly after my post. He brought the proof that my husband found, his positive STI results, a copy of their prenup, and the divorce papers. From what he told us when he came over for dinner after, he was calm and just laid it all out on the table. Literally. She obviously knew she was caught and just asked how he found out. He said it wasn't important and outlined what the next steps would look like. He was willing to make some concessions on their prenup if she would come clean about everything and step down quietly. I think he was so hurt by it all, and he loved her so much that he just wanted this to be done and over, and he still did want to care for her. She fought for a bit but relented, so the divorce should go smoothly. She stepped down willingly from the business and moved out, but he did offer spousal support and their vacation home, which she moved into, both things that were not included in the prenup. My father-in-law has spent a lot of time at our house or going out with my husband golfing or hiking. He's heartbroken and worried that it's all going a little too smooth, that she will suddenly change her attitude. But I personally think she just knows she got caught and messed up past any fixing it. I'm struggling to come to terms with that version of her versus the one I got to know and love. But there's nothing I can do but be there for my father-in-law and husband. The two are really leaning on each other, which is heartwarming for me to see. She reached out to me to apologize for putting me in the position in hopes we can still have a relationship. So at some point, he found out from me. I told her not right now, but I don't know what will happen in the future. But my husband is my number one priority right now. Thank you, Morgan and Michaela, for your take and not ripping me to shreds like some commenters did. Speaking of commenters, let's see what they have to say. Will your father-in-law tell it to the parents of the guy? Because he may have been groomed. Who knows how long was the affair? Next person says, not to mention, he likely has the same STI. The OP replies, he did not tell them, but their son did. They went to my father-in-law and are working it out on their own. There's more to it, but not that I'll share publicly. Next commenter says, I would imagine there are legal concerns there as well. Hope it works out well for father-in-law and the family business. Next up, that lady does not deserve spousal support or a vacation home. She's taken so much already emotionally and completely obliterated the foundations of her family. I truly hope her husband and father-in-law are okay. This has to hurt so much. The OP replies, you're not wrong on the hurt. The credit I will give my mother-in-law, and that my father-in-law and husband do as well, she was always a great mom and worked hard to support the business and was a huge part in building the life they have. No matter what, she is his mom, and to my father-in-law, she's the loving mother of his children, and their marriage had a really happy moments. I look up to my father-in-law so much, and I think it's admirable that he took into account her whole being and her life, not just her worst moments, and didn't cut her off and rip everything away, even though nobody would blame him. Don't get me wrong, this isn't me defending her, it's me praising him. One more person has this to say. So your husband is just straight no contact with his mom? She's cut off? She gets what she deserves, but wow. From everything to nothing in one shot. At least she has money and a place to live. The OP replies, he's not totally no contact, but it is limited. Aside from being his dad's soon-to-be ex-wife, she's also his mom, and he wants to separate the two, but is just struggling to do so right now, and he told her that much, which I'm really proud of him for. She knows they have an uphill battle coming up. Yikes. This is definitely one of those situations where you never expect to stumble upon that kind of revelation. Honesty is tough. but it seems like it's been the best path for your relationship. It's also really tough seeing someone you trusted in one light as a mother figure and boss suddenly become someone else entirely. She made some very questionable choices and is now dealing with the consequences. It sounds like the whole situation is still unfolding. Best of luck navigating the rest of this. You're definitely in a tough spot, but it seems like you've been handling it as best anyone could. How would you handle discovering a family member's affair? Let us know below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.